This is Business at 9. I'm Shubhani Gharat. Now, agencies are reporting that United States will freeze visa processing for 75 countries, including Russia, Brazil and Iran. The suspension is set to begin from January 21st and continue indefinitely, raising concerns over travel and diplomatic ties. The directive reportedly comes from an internal State Department memo instructing consular offices worldwide to refuse new visa applications under existing law while review is underway. Now, Sumita is joining us with more details on this. Sumita, tell us more. More about this piece of news. I read about it on Fox News, but what are your sources telling about these visa restrictions?
Let me clarify at the outset that this State Department memo that Fox News claims, it's an exclusive to Fox News. In fact, we've also reached out to the U.S. Embassy here in New Delhi trying to confirm this piece of news, but this is an exclusive that's been reported by Fox News. And of course, this piece of news essentially suggests that these countries include Somalia, Russia, Afghanistan, Brazil, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Nigeria, Thailand, Yemen, and more. What's interesting from this piece of news that's just coming in is to note that Brazil is also part of the list, which essentially is looking at pausing all visa processing for 75 countries. Now, this essentially is an effort to crack down on applicants that are deemed likely to become a public charge. Now, this pause will begin on January 21st, and this will continue indefinitely until the department conducts a reassessment of visa processing. In fact, if we look at the November 2025 data, a State Department cable sent to posts around the globe, it actually instructed consular officers to enforce sweeping new screen rules under these public charge provision of immigration law. And of course, you've seen over the past couple of months, many months ever since Donald Trump came to power and assumed office once again, he has been cracking down on illegal immigration. He's been making it difficult for people to sort of come into the United States, especially if it is an illegal case of an illegal immigrant. Now, Fox News also suggests that older or overweight applicants could be denied along with those who had any past use of government cash assistance or institutionalization. And immigration from these 75 countries will be paused. Even as the U.S. State Department is reassessing immigration processing procedures, and they are trying to prevent the entry of foreign nationals who would take welfare and public benefits. So, according to what Fox News is reporting, the U.S. freezing all visa processing for 75 countries, and that includes Russia, Iran, Somalia, and even Brazil.
I also need to understand, because it's a developing story, whether it's a blanket processing freeze of all the visa application or specifically pertaining to immigration or education. Because if tourist visas get frozen to 75 countries, that may also impact, and even business visas for that matter, that may impact travel globally across different nations as well who are traveling to US. So it's a developing story to watch out for going forward, Sumita, isn't it?
Absolutely. In fact, if you look at this, the story that's been published by Fox News, it has paused all visa processing for 75 countries. Now, this is being done in an effort to crack down on applicants that are deemed likely to become a public charge. So that is basically, the clarification that the story essentially suggests, that it has directed consular officers to refuse visas under existing law while the department is reassessing screening and vetting procedures. And of course, in the past, we've seen that, the embassy right here in India as well stated that, while issuing visas to Indians applying for the United States, their social media accounts will be vetted as well. And of course, we've seen the crackdown that is coming from the Donald Trump administration, particularly on H-1B visa. So this is part of Donald Trump's policies to sort of curb illegal immigration into the United States, because in Donald Trump's own words, this is causing, crime in America. This is causing unrest in America. And of course, they need people who are skilled. They need skilled people into the country, highly skilled people into the country. And these migrants, what he says, is taking the jobs of America. Thank
you, Sumita, for getting us all these details. Now, moving on, Wall Street